Hi everyone, welcome to another video of Cinema Space 4K. Today it's all about a guide for someone who has used Sony's devices in the past and is willing to upgrade to a Samsung device. Because today I'm going to show you some camera features of Samsung smartphone. Most of them are missing or unavailable in Moto phones, Sony phones, Pixel phones, etc. First of all, this is the camera layout. This is slightly different from the camera layout of other phones. Modes are selected by sliding like this, and the easiest to go to selfie camera is just clicking here or just sliding here. In the main layout, you can choose the filters by clicking here. There are some filters. You can also add a filter from your photo by clicking this plus icon. There is also some filters for face, and by clicking here you can change the aspect ratio. And that's all the info on the layout. And let's go to settings. There is a scene optimizer option. I think if you need all the AI processing of Samsung smartphone, please turn this on. This auto HDR function is missing in Sony's smartphones. Okay, so this is the layout. One advantage of Samsung smartphones over Sony's smartphone is that you don't have to click these buttons to change the zoom levels. Just pinch to zoom or pinch to go to wide angle, just like this. This will automatically change the lens. And when it comes to videos, you can take up to 4K 60fps on the back camera, only in the wide angle lens. The other two only support 30fps videos. Do note that the front camera also supports 4K 60fps videos. So this is the modes. First of all, everyone knows about Pro mode. Pro mode lets you adjust all the camera settings like ISO, shutter speed, white balance, etc. This smartphone does not support manual mode in telephoto lens. That is a disappointment considering Sony smartphone supports that. And there is also a Pro video option. This is tried to mimic the Pro video options of LG phones, but it's not that close, and Sony offers much more extensive controls and color profiles, which this does not offer. These are the settings. You can change the ISO, shutter speed, focus, etc. And this also does not support telephoto lens, only wide and ultra wide cam. These are all the limelight options. This phone supports USB audio, but this is not limited to Samsung smartphones. All smartphones including Sony smartphones support audio via USB OTG. These are the audio options you can select. And I didn't know about portrait mode, but Samsung smartphone historically had some good portrait mode, and this device is no different. The edge detection and subject separation are just great. I think this is the weakness of Sony smartphones. There's no creative effect like we see on Sony smartphones, but while in the portrait mode you can see the background effects like this color contrast, backdrop effect, and studio lighting. Okay, now let's talk about other features. This is Bixby Vision. Bixby Vision is something similar to Google Lens. So if your smartphone already has Google Lens, I don't think you need to use Bixby Vision. you don't need to install Google Translate app for Bixby Vision's Translate to work. That's an advantage. Another one is night. What night mode does is that it clips the highlights, increase the shadows, add some contrast, and also choose a longer shutter speed so the photos are clear and crisp. This phone has optical image stabilization, so the shutter speed can be up to 5 seconds in handheld mode. Night mode support all the lenses, unlike Pro mode. This is foot mode. Foot mode means if you place some foot in this circle, then it will add contrast and color so that the foot will appear tastier. But in my usage, I didn't notice any difference from normal photo mode to foot mode. Single take is an awesome feature that is available only on Samsung smartphones. What single take does is that it captures multiple photos from multiple lenses and also a short video clip, so that you don't need to choose what to capture or how to capture when a scene occurs. This saves a lot of time, but I didn't find it useful for me, but it may be useful for you. For example, if I want to capture photos and videos of this clock, I can do just by clicking this button. It just takes 10 seconds, and in this 10 seconds it captures the photos from multiple lenses and also video. This is the video captured, and this is a photo, and this is a fast forward to a small music is also added. I don't know why. So that's that. Everyone knows about Panorama, so I don't have to explain its detail about it. Just captures wider images. And this is an awesome feature. This was actually invented by Sony back in 2016-17 with the Sony Xperia XZ1. But I don't know why Sony did this feature. This is called Super Slow-Mo. It captures 960 frames per second. Sony was also the first to implement Full HD Super Slow-Mo back in 2018 with Sony Xperia XZ2, which is the device I am recording this video right now. It is the XZ2 Compact. I don't know why Sony did this awesome feature, because Super Slow-Mo is really a great feature. It really slows down the footage, like pausing time. However, this is still on every other Samsung smartphone, so that's a good thing. And standard slow motion just takes slow motion at 120 frames per second. This is common in Sony phones, but one advantage of Sony phones is that you can capture videos that are 120 fps in 4K resolution. Only OnePlus and Asus has this function. I also think some other gaming phones do has 4K 120 frames per second. I don't know why Samsung, Apple and Google phones does not have 4K 120 frames per second. Maybe because of heat concerns or the limit of processing. Okay, and Hyperlapse function is just opposite of slow motion. This was once present in Sony smartphones, but now in modern Sony smartphones this function is no more. This is just created as time-lapse. I don't think this is any useful for me, but as a travel videographer or something, you might find it useful. Portrait video is another feature that Samsung copied from Huawei phones, but this is a great feature. But for the S20 FE to work, you need a face. But if you're using an iPhone, like latest iPhone, you can select cinematic video and use this function on any object, like this clock for example. But for the Samsung smartphones, you need a face. This does not work with objects like a clock. That's a disappointment. And another thing I downloaded from Galaxy Store is this thing called Decopic. Decopic adds this effects to your photos, like to your face, etc. There's also some frames you can add, like this one. This saves some time with editing. It's a nice feature. I think it's great. You can also add this clock and resize it. So that was about the camera software of Samsung smartphone. One key advantage of Samsung smartphones compared to Sony smartphones is that if you click a picture, the phone will automatically process the picture in a few seconds, making it better in some opinions. But I don't think this is much better when it comes to Sony smartphones. I have a review of this Samsung Galaxy S20 FE comparing the camera of Sony Xperia X7 compact, and in most pictures the Sony Xperia X7 compact just takes better pictures. I don't know why it is that. So that was my overview of Samsung's camera interface. I think you like my video, and thanks for watching and subscribe for more.